my gosh. Oh my gosh. Are we
Are we
live?
live?
We're live.
We're ready?
Oh my
Hello,
goodness.
hello, hello, people. It's been so long.
We're live in 2021 on top of it. Like,
I know it's crazy.
yeah. Like we made hey, by the way, we made it.
We did.
We
We
made
made it through 2020.
wow.
Everybody's here.
Yeah. Like oh yeah, it's something else. And we're starting off the year with you're very green today, sir.
I'm green. Well, that's true. I got green on green. I didn't think about that.
Mm.
I got some dog hair mixed in if you
You
want.
know what? We could actually use you as a green screen right now.
Yeah.
You don't see what's fun about this is you don't know what I'm doing over here on the control side, my friend.
Makes sense. I could be like in the background on a ski slope or something right
You
now.
just
You
have
know,
to have
maybe.
faith in me and trust that I am doing the right things.
I have all the faith in the world in you, Aaron.
Wow. Wow. Most people don't.
And even if you do something crazy and funny, it's just gonna be funny anyway. So
It's true.
it's okay.
It's true. Okay, so I want to start off 2021 really with one thing, and I know I'm interrupting your show, but we want to hear more from people in the comments, right?
Please.
I want to be able to like throw some comments up on the screen. I want to interrupt when Tom's talking to ask him the questions you have. I like to interrupt Tom.
Yeah, let's talk. Test my brain. It's been a long time since I've been in school, so I'd love to
Yeah,
answer
do
some
it.
questions if you got them.
All right, it's all yours now, sir. That's all I had to say. That was my two.
Oh, you're fine. Yeah. So what we're doing, we're making portabella, well, seafood portabella stuffed mushrooms, right? We could do any seafood we want. I happen to have shrimps on hand, so I'm gonna go with just shrimp. Last time I made these, I had leftover what was it? Striped bass, rockfish. So I
Yeah,
put that
yeah.
in there with some shrimp. If you got clams, anything you really like. And if you don't want to do seafood, you can do anything, right? Make it like a taco stuffed portobello mushroom and just kind of go like that, ground beef or
Ooh,
chicken, and go down that path, right?
what? That'd be cool. Taco stuff. I like
Yeah.
it. I like it.
It just kind of comes down to the seasonings and what the protein. You don't want to do any protein, do just vegetables. And that's really what this kind of started from is I like to use up whatever's in the kitchen, right? Or in the, what do you call that thing? Refrigerator, um, when I can. So I try to go in the vegetable drawer, see what's left, and just get creative. So here what I'm doing is we're going to start by sauteing the shrimp. I don't want to saute them too much, just very, very little. I want a very hot pan, which is getting hot now. My basic four seasonings, right? Salt, onion, garlic, pepper. And then this one I put Old Bay in there. So Old Bay is really what's going to drive the flavor of this mushroom and what we're looking for. Yeah, Old Bay is very good. And to use in a lot of stuff, you're exactly right. You can use it in anything.
Yeah.
But definitely everybody relates seafood and Old Bay, right? So that's what's going to drive the hidden flavor in the background. Be careful when you're using Old Bay. It's a little salty, so I use very, very little salt in this one. If you saw that, just stay right there. Let me grab my tongs. So you just want to be careful. So a nice hot pan. So this is very hot. You can see the smoking coming on. This is really where you're going to notice in the cooking world you get some flavor from, right? You can have shrimp that are yummy and good, but when you sear them off in a nice hot pan, you get that crusty yumminess on the outside that just changes the whole flavor. And that's where you're like, man, that's really good. What is that? You just cooked it right, you know? Doesn't mean the other one was bad. It's just you're introducing new flavors. So we're going to cook these not all the way, not very hard. I'm really just trying to get a nice crispy sear on the outside. One, flip it over, turn it off, pull it out, and let them cool down a little bit because they're going to go in the oven too. So we don't want to cook the heck out of them, but we want to just get them seared off. If you got some shrimp that are already cooked, right, use those. No big deal.
Yeah, I think one of the things I like to see is I didn't think about that really hot pan to give it that crisp, really.
Yep.
So I think
That's
that's
exactly what you're doing.
yeah, I think that's great. Did you have to adjust to your new pans, by the way? Did you have to kind of like learn how your new pans cook, or
Oh, absolutely. 100%. I mean, I'd probably still say to Shizuka, these pans take a little bit longer to heat up for me. So that's why I turned it on a little earlier compared to the other pans that I had.
yeah,
I like them a lot. This is like that ceramic Teflon kind of feel to it.
yeah? So
Uh,
stick wise, you're not, yeah,
yeah, they're very nice with the stick side, but as you see, I use metal tongs and metal things still to this day. So these do scratch up a little bit, but they're still working perfect. But if I had to give a review on them, I would just say make sure you use your plastic utensils like they ask you to.
yeah. The like nylon stuff, sure, the coated
Yeah,
stuff,
so
yeah.
that's more on me than anything. But
Yeah.
they're still perfectly. No, I don't want those. They're still perfectly non-stick. And but yes, to circle back to answer your question,
Yeah.
I did have to adjust to them 100% because they cook very, very differently.
I know a lot of people got new cookware for Christmas, which, by the way, I don't think is a bad thing, but some people, Justin, might think it's a bad thing because he cooks for me every day. But,
Yeah.
just saying.
Well, so that's it, right? I just want that one sear on the outside. They're probably like 90% cooked right now. We're just going to let them sit there and cool off. We're going to keep this same pan, and we're going to put our vegetables in that. Okay. And this meal should be done probably in about, will be done in about 30 minutes. So we're going to put our vegetables in. I'm going to start with my onion. You see I'm chopping them kind of small as you can get. If you want to put them in a chopper, you can, but you don't have to go that fine, but just smaller because we are going into a portobello mushroom, which you see here. So you got to fit everything in there at once, and you don't want big chunks of onion, right? Or big chunks of anything. It's all going to be size proportionate. All right, slide over a little bit.
Well, and that's good in a mushroom, right?
Yep.
So that you have room for all the other stuff.
Exactly. So we're going to put a little bit of Earl in there. Let me grab my tool.
Did you
that my
say
mom got
Earl?
me. Yeah, Earl.
Earl?
Scrimps, Earl.
Wait, you're from New Jersey.
Yeah,
You might be losing your New Jersey card.
I'm just trying to relate to all parts of the world. That's all.
Too much time in the South now.
All right. So let's do some peppers. Any color will work. Red peppers tend to be a little bit sweeter. These are actually really nice and sweet. It puts a really good flavor in the pepper, in the mushroom. And again, we want to keep it very similar size. You can see they're a small dice. Keep your digits out of the way so you don't cut them. Use your knuckles. And if you have extra filling, that's not a bad thing either. You can make them into like little shrimp seafood cakes, without the mushroom, or maybe you have people that don't like the mushrooms.
Mm-hmm.
You can easily do that too. All right, so that's our pepper. Use this handy dandy. Make my mom happy.
Thanks, Mom.
Thanks, Ma. There's Jersey. Ma.
Thanks,
All right,
Ma.
I like putting some zucchini in there. Like I said, this is a great way to just sneak all kinds of veggies in. Plus, you get a little bit of texture difference from all the vegetables you're putting in there, right? The onions are going to get a little soft. The peppers will start to get soft. This will hold up a little bit longer and give you some more texture and crunch in there. If you're not comfortable doing them all at once, please don't. Just take a few out. It might just take you a little bit longer.
Mm-hmm.
I've done this once or twice, But the most important thing is that you just keep your fingers behind. As long as you keep your fingers tucked in like this, you shouldn't cut yourself. All right, so some zucchini. So I've got these going on a medium temperature for right now while I'm cutting. This way they don't go out of control and burn up on me. We're going to put some regular mushrooms in there. Again, any mushroom you got. We just want to get some mushroom inside the mushroom, right? Why not? I'm a big mushroom fan. I actually might have a slight addiction to mushrooms. If you ask Shizuka, every time I see them like discounted or on sale, I'm like, oh, mushrooms. Let me buy them all.
We've been really into mushrooms ourselves recently. We did a dish with mushrooms this week, and then I've got, I'm doing our meal planning today. So, your mom says you're welcome, by the way. But yeah, so we're really into mushrooms right now too. Is it maybe a seasonal feel, or are you like that all the time?
I am like that all the time. I am a very big fan of mushrooms, but they tend to, this is a good growing season for them. Is right around now too.
Did you like mushrooms as a kid? I didn't like mushrooms as a kid.
As far as I can remember, I did. My favorite pizza has always been mushroom pizza, so I would imagine I did.
Really? Yeah, when I was a kid, I've always liked raw vegetables more than cooked vegetables, so I liked them raw. But I did not like cooked mushrooms when I was a kid. Now I love them. I made them. In fact, I made a mushroom side dish for Christmas dinner.
Oh, nice. Shizuka used to be the same way. She used to hate mushrooms, right?
I hated mushrooms until I met Tom.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so we've got most of our vegetables in, so we can kind of go a little bit heavier on the heat, right? So we got all our vegetables in there. We're going to saute them up. Let's get them going happy. While we're doing that, we can work on our mushrooms. And then I've got to season this a little bit. So portobello mushrooms, one of my favorites. You can use these. I feel like when you put these on the grill, they almost taste like a nice steak, you know? Very, very yummy. This is just right out of the package. We're going to wash them, right? But you want to take a spoon, go in there and grab these gills inside the mushroom. You just scrape them off lightly. It's not going to kill you if you eat them with them. It's just they don't have the greatest taste, so let's just get rid of them. But again, you're not going to, I'm sure we've all eaten them before because they're inside the smaller mushrooms. It's just this is a more mature mushroom, so it's a little bit more prominent. And we're going to make a nice little area for our mushroom. So we'll scrape these out and then we'll wash them off.
You're making some of our viewers hungry.
We're going to have to host a drive-by here soon.
Listen, everybody, get well, get your whatever, get your vaccine, and maybe we can.
We've got some good plans for 2021.
We do. If everybody behaves themselves.
That's right. If not, you're in timeout.
Or you just don't get any seafood stuffed mushrooms ever. At least not made by Chef Tom there.
That's right. You got to make your own.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right. So let me wash these mushrooms real quick.
That's the only thing about mushrooms is they're pretty dirty.
They are dirty.
I mean, they obviously, for obvious reasons. I mean, they're made in the dirt, but...
and they don't wash them when they package them because the moisture kind of deteriorates them a little bit faster.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. And there's a lot of back and forth about, if you wash the mushrooms or soak them in water, like dunk them in water, it absorbs all that water. That's not true. It's been proven false, so don't worry about it.
That's, you know what, I haven't seen that done in, 30 years, but you're right, when I was a kid. Huh. I hadn't even thought about that. Yeah. I tend to, wash each one off, so.
I do too, but sometimes it's easier if you just got a bunch, you just dump them in a bucket of water, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to season up here our vegetable inside, right? We season everything. Shrimp, we're seasoned. We're also going to We're also going to season our portobello mushroom caps just a little bit. Don't overdo it. But imagine this big old plain mushroom with all this yummy filling inside. We want the mushroom to taste good on its own too, right? That's kind of what you're imagining. Every component of your dish tasting well on its own. And then also you have to keep in mind of them all put together, right? All right. So, and again, just a tiny, tiny bit of salt. I like going in my hand on these sometimes because you don't want to put too much. Just a little. I stopped with doing this one over here, didn't I? Yeah. Let's get this guy going. He needs a little salt. I also really like the taste of red pepper flakes on a lot of my food. So a little bit of heat, not too much.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that much, right? Depending on what you like. Put that guy in there. Tiny bit of Old Bay, not too much, just for the filling sake. All that done. Let's stir it up. Yeah, I love that way that Old Bay smells.
I bet it smells.
I know what
I need smell-o-vision.
We'll set those to the side. I've got to get some garlic in here. So I already peeled them. Pretty simple. Just smush it down if you can. Oh, we lost a piece. It's over there. Go ahead and get it. That's okay. You got to pick up the garlic so the dogs don't eat it.
Is garlic dangerous for dogs?
Yeah, garlic and onions are very bad for dogs.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
So be careful with that.
And probably poor Boo Boo, irresponsible dog parent here.
I mean, like an excessive amount. So that's just like a garlic clove sitting on the ground, and Winston's all about 12 pounds. So
right.
If he were to gnaw on that,
That's true.
Boo Boo's all right. He's lived through a lot. He's a good boy.
He's something, all right.
All right. So we've got our filling going. Again, we're cooking it down just a little bit. Get some of that filling moisture out. Get it all seasoned and happy. We're getting those spices to work together, become friends. That's pretty good there. I'm going to turn that off. What also I'm going to do is deglaze, right? We talked about this last time. Just a tiny little splash of water. That's going to help get all those flavors that are stuck to the pan off and into our dish. All right, so you can see it used to all be stuck there, and now it's in our dish. And that little bit of water that's in there is going to steam off like it's doing now. And it's also, we're going to put some breadcrumbs in this dish, so it's not going to be a big deal anyway. Let me wash my hands real quick. I'll be right back. All right, so that looks done. Oh, yeah, 15 minutes, not too bad. So that's done. I'm going to set this to the side in a dish. a bowl. Put this over here. It's hot. Okay, Google, timer off. Just to let it cool down, right? Because we're going to put an egg in here to help bind things together. So I just want this to sit over here, let it cool off a little bit. You know, by the time I get the breadcrumbs done and the shrimp cut up, it'll be perfectly fine and ready to go. Next, we're going to work on, what are we going to work on? How about breadcrumbs? So I like, when I can, make my own breadcrumbs. Just any kind of bread you got. This is right out of the bag here, soft. If we were coating something like chicken and frying it, you want to use like a dried breadcrumb. You can either dry your bread out and then do it, or just go buy the store-bought. But this is mainly going to go on the inside. Super easy if you got one of these choppers or something even bigger and more powerful than I do. Good way to use the ends.
Oh yeah, that's true. That is true. The ends never get eaten.
Yeah, so I'm just going to do this real quick. Hang on with the noise.
Oh, it automatically like minimized the noise.
You got your own fresh made. Oh, did it on the thing?
Yeah,
That's cool.
So fresh made breadcrumbs, right? You can't get any better than what you know is in the product instead of what they add to it. So this will set to the side. I'm going to cut my shrimps up. Again, this is the star of the party. So similar size, but not too, you don't want to smush them up. You want to have a nice little chunky shrimp in there when you bite into it. Hey, Charlie. You smell the shrimp? He's like, forget all the vegetables I just smelled. I smell shrimp.
right. It's funny.
And we've got, what do we got? 3 mushrooms. All right, so keep that in mind. This is about half a pound of shrimp here.
Okay.
And if you, like I said, don't be afraid. If you make too much filling, you could always make it into like a little shrimp cake or seafood, you know, cake, put into a patty.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
So much yumminess here.
You know, it's funny because I don't think I usually eat that much seafood this time of year. But we have been recently. I love salmon, so I can't get enough of salmon. And in fact, I just realized I'm probably going to put another thing of salmon on this week's menu. But yeah, I mean, I like eating. I usually think of seafood like in the spring and in the summer, but I like eating it in the winter too. I mean, I think it's nice to have that change of pace because everything is so hearty, and sometimes having that seafood is a little bit lighter.
Absolutely. And also, you know, seafood has seasonality too. So you're going to notice some seafoods come around now, like rockfish, for instance, come available this time of year. More so, flounder comes available. It's available all year round nowadays, right, with where we get everything from. But if you want to be local, and shrimp are very local here right now. All right, so what else are we missing? I need some parsley. So this, again, this was kind of wilted earlier. I just put in a cup of water, get those stems to rehydrate. It'll stay a lot longer in your refrigerator for you.
You should have let me know. We've got enough parsley for 150 people, thanks to our online shopping.
What? Like, they just gave you a bunch?
It's the biggest like bunch of parsley I've ever seen in my whole life. Like, it's insane. It is probably the size of 2 big things of broccoli. Like, there's no meal on the planet that you would use that much parsley.
Yeah. Well, you gotta look up tabbouleh salad if you guys like.
Yeah, I do. I love a tabbouleh salad. So
that's a good way to use it up.
Yeah, I just don't know if I'm going to be able to find the time today.
I gotcha. I saw you had a busy schedule. It's good.
Yeah. It's not a bad thing.
All right. So vegetables are in the bowl, shrimp are in the bowl, a little bit of lemon juice, just a fresh squeeze of half a lemon. Whatever you get out of that will work. Watch out for the seeds. Nobody wants to eat those. If you have a cut, be careful. That'll sting. We're going to mix this up. So it's not too hot. Not hot to the point where the egg is going to cook. So that's fine. It's going to be a little warm. You're going to see. Don't be afraid. You'll be all right. I promise. Make a little hole here. So the egg is going to help bind everything together. The breadcrumbs are going to help bind it all together. Just going to stir it in here a little bit. Let's mix it all together. Let's get our bread in here. I'm going to use just about 3/4 of this. And then I'll save some to put on top of the mushroom, just to give it the nice little crispy crust on top. you can see, it's not really hard. It's just
Yeah.
it's pretty simple. I keep looking because I started some mushrooms earlier, obviously, so we have it when it's all done. The mushrooms are going to cook. Well, I'll tell you when we get there. Why cheat?
I love it. This is all of us are like this, and we're like, well, let me start down this road, and then we come back and we're like, oh, never mind, I'm skipping ahead. I'm skipping ahead.
Say it, but I'm literally like a minute away from doing it anyway, so why not just wait? All right, so we got our filling, right? It's all happy, yummy. Let's go ahead and scoop it into the mushrooms. Nice. Oh man, it looks so bright and yummy.
And that does. It looks amazing.
And it's a healthy eat. You know, there's nothing bad in here. There's a little bit of olive oil. Eggs aren't bad. I mean, it depends on your dietary preferences, but
A little bit of bread.
a little bit of bread.
Yeah, but you can adjust for some of those things. I mean, you can use gluten-free or, breadcrumbs and things like that. So there's a lot of availability in this to adjust.
Yeah, and we're Weight Watchers Weight Watchers right now. This is 2 points total, right?
Oh, wow.
Because if you use the 1 point bread slices, which those are,
Mm-hmm.
and you got 1 point maybe for the oil that's in here, that's it.
Everything else is 0 points.
Everything else is 0 points. So I like using this spatula, get a nice little dome on it, right? It's not going to leak out much. You'll get some moisture out of the main Portabello mushroom that comes out, but a nice mound so it looks nice and presentable and a portion on there. So a rubber spatula really does that. Shove it in the cracks and crevices without pushing too hard. You can break them. All right. That's our mushrooms. Let's set that guy over to the side. Let me make sure I'm not burning anything. All right, don't look. Close your eyes, everybody.
Need that TikTok where it just flips.
The magic of television later. All right. So I'm going to take our leftover breadcrumbs, a little bit on top of each one. This is just going to, and you'll see in a minute what it does. It just gives a nice little presentation, gives you that crunch when you first bite in, which everybody likes. We're all looking for different textures. You're going to have the crunch on top. You're going to have the soft and warm yumminess inside.
Your mom says it's looking good.
So this is calculated into the 2 points, by the way. Just a little shave of Parmesan cheese. If you have fresh, that's perfect. If you don't, use the jar one. It's usually what I use because I don't want to spend all the money and I don't use it that often. Again, that's going to give some flavor and that's going to give some color. So 15 minutes in the oven, 400 degrees. And then what I'm going to do, and what I did, is I'm going to broil it on low for about 3 minutes. You just want to watch to make sure you don't burn it. And that's why I do low, just to help brown up on top. Okay. And that's going to take us to this beautiful thing right here.
Oh my goodness.
Our seafood Portabello stuffed mushroom.
I'm not going to be far from your house here in a bit.
You can see the Portabello mushroom is nice and soft. You're going to cut into it. It's going to have some firm texture, just like a little steak almost. Let's go ahead and cut it so you can see. I'm a big fan of Portabello mushrooms.
I like the baby bellas too.
And there you go. See, it's nice and firm still, but super warm and soft. If you're worried about that egg temperature, it's there. Trust me. But you can always put a thermometer in there and make sure it's at least 140. That's what an egg needs to be cooked at. And that's it. That's our mushroom.
That looks really, really good.
24 minutes.
Yeah.
Minus the cooking time that we have to do. So 24 minutes plus 40 minutes, you can have a...
And I held you up there a little bit, so I'm going to say 20 minutes. No, 22.
But also if you were prepping ahead, like if we cut some of those vegetables ahead of time, that'll shave you some 10 minutes when it's time to cook. You know, it depends on how you prep your dinners and how much time you got.
Well, and use that. I mean, on Sundays, right? What a great time to pre-cut vegetables for your meals for the week and stuff like that. I don't do this at all. So I like to throw this advice out, even though it's stuff I don't do any of it. But, maybe more people are a little more together.
You've got the right idea. It's the execution.
Yeah.
You got other stuff going on.
So you guys are having, how fancy, seafood stuffed mushrooms for lunch. So bougie.
Yeah, definitely.
So bougie.
Let me see if I can get the kids to eat the mushrooms. That's not their favorite, but we'll see.
I have no doubt that Olivia says it looks so good. Hopefully, maybe your neighbors will stop by Just pass it through the window.
They are close.
Yeah, yeah. Very, very close. Awesome. Well, hey, Tom, thanks again. We've got all kinds of stuff coming up, but you need help with your menu plans for these cooking with your agents things. So we keep asking, and we really need some feedback.
Yeah, don't be shy. Throw it out there. Anything we can. I can prep it ahead. If
Maybe not
it
send
takes
you
longer or whatever it
outside.
is.
It's a little chilly. Yeah, it's a little cold, but
Well,
yeah. All right. I mean, if
I got
okay,
that.
never
Not too
mind.
bad.
If you're up for it, by all means. Yeah, I mean, I'd love to hear some stuff of what other people are trying to make, or something reasonable that you can make in 20, 30 minutes and make it a good meal. I think we'd love to hear about it. I like when I give you a thumbs up and you can't see me.
There you go. I can hear you though.
So, all right, I realize I'm like, okay, thumbs up, and you can't see that at all. All right, well, awesome. I hope you guys have a great day. Shiz, as always, thanks for being the camera gal. Appreciate you. And I'm actually heading over to Posnickety Pets this afternoon myself. So check out Posnickety Pets. If you're not getting our email, you might not, you might miss out that we're doing a giveaway on Wednesday for Posnickety Pets, the hottest new boutique pet store in Norfolk. Yeah. Oh, wait. I mean, I could do that, but I actually like what you just did there. So, all right,
More
guys.
genuine.
Have a good one.
Right.
Thanks, everybody. We missed you.
Bye-bye.
Woo.